And we're live. This is an exciting time. All right. A few things going on here. How's my audio's good. This is Keen Eye Collectibles, and I'm Eric. Forgot the name of my channel, and I'm tapping my feet like a total novice. All right. Let me take my boots off. All right. Pull my socks up. Okay, so I think I maybe found a 1992 penny cent for you fancy types. And I think maybe there's a double die reverse that may not be listed anywhere. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Look at that. I'll show you what I'm looking at. I don't use the digital zoom on this just because why? It beeps apparently. I did an entire first stream where it was just beeping. Maybe this isn't. I don't know what it is though. Do you see like everything is kind of down and to the left? Look at the R. Imagine that R in the dots, man, the dots. Lori called them meteorites or something. But they're fireballs shooting down and to the left. It's like everything was just smeared with an S-H-M. Smeared. Down and to the left. U's look down and left. R looks down and left to me. The L. Everything just shifted. I think... my current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. I don't have any dropped frames, but I don't know what if there's a correlation there. The U is weird, and the U almost looks damaged to me. Wait, is the of in the United States down and to the left too? What is going on with this coin? Is everything doubled? Like, just because one thing is like doubled doesn't mean it all has to be. Some numismatics for you over here. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Wouldn't that be embarrassing? Huh. I don't know. It's a neat coin. I'm saying it's doubled. Even the O is down and to the left. I'm gonna put this under my loop so. Oh, also, Blue Ridge Silverhound has a new pocket change market report out. Just came out like 4 hours ago or something. Oh, and the other exciting thing is I'm kind of in a bidding war on some West Point nickels 2020 W's. There's a lot of 12 minutes left, so I'm kind of checking that out. I'm into that. Wait, it's a 99, not a 92. What do I know? I looked this up on a few different sites, and none of them had a double die. It's really things I'm looking at are the U's, except for the first U. That guy's just, it looks damaged to me a little bit. But the other ones, the P is down to the left. You can see it. Hold on. Alright, so here's what we do. Okay? This is how I find out. Give me a second. Don't look at this garbage. It's all garbage. Everything is garbage. the first place I would go is Wexler's, doubledie.com. And I'm going to look up Memorial. And I'm going to go on down to 99 Filet. And we're going to look. So, yeah, as far as I know, most of the doubling, if not all of it, has to do with the Memorial. Alright. And I know this says quarters. And I do have a whole bunch of quarters to get to. But most of the 99 doubled die has to do with like columns in the Memorial, the Lincoln Memorial, which is on the reverse of the coin. The Lincoln cent from 1999, minted in Philadelphia. Boy, there's a lot of them too. And I'm pretty sure I scanned through all these. And then I went over here. You know what? Let's just open a new tab, ignoring whatever is on there. Clearly nothing to see. What am I doing? Lincoln cents. I'm going to do a variety search from 1999. I want specifically Philadelphia. And I'm looking for a double die reverse. Everything else I'm going to leave blank. If I just wanted to see everything from Philadelphia or from any mint, I click none of those. If I want specific things, great. If I don't, leave it all blank. You'll get everything. It's a pretty powerful little search. And don't forget up here, there's multiple pages. So you'll see again, these are all, they all have to do with the come on now, Memorial. There's some of the steps. The wavy step, heard of that one before. There is so much to this, man. It's tough. So again, on here there's no doubled die reversed. So that's what we get. I'm trying to figure out what to do here. I think what I want to do, I was going to watch Blue Ridge Silverhound's Pocket Change Market Report with you guys, and you know, look at some coins. How's that sound? This I think I can put his stuff on and share it because I don't think it's YouTube. Anyways, that's what I'm gonna do until they shut me down, I guess, or tell me not to, because I'm pretty sure it's not copyrighted. And people do react videos all the time. Oh wow! A box of quarters is really heavy. If like you're leaning forward in a chair, pick it up. I have an entire unopened box of quarters. That is me cutting the tape. And I'm grabbing like 5 rolls out. Oh, there's my the high bidder. 8 minutes left on this beast. I'm going to put a timer for, say, 6 more minutes. Then we'll check back in. Something like that. What do you think? You guys get to hang out with me while I bid on a lot of 4 coins. I'll probably resell them. At least 3 of them and keep one. They're West Point 2020s nickels. Clearly everybody here has watched everything I've ever done and would know that I actually found out live in a stream that 2020 W nickel existed. It was a big moment in the history of live stream of anything ever. So you're seeing at the same time I am what coins I'm pulling out of this box as the first roll. I like it when I at a minimum I like when the coins are not sticky. It's a good start to a box. And I will say that I'm not even gonna say, well, yeah, why not? The last 4 boxes maybe were started out really nice and ended pretty crappy. This one I would say is starting out pretty nice. I mean, coins look okay. Obviously they're circulated. And I'll tell you, I have a new appreciation for uncirculated coins because I bought a statehood quarter set from my local guy, Neil, real nice guy. And you know, I posted something on Facebook about it, how I, seeing what everybody thought of the deal, because I think I got a pretty good deal. This is cool. I don't think that's damage on the, is that damage on the W, or is that a big die chip? Let's see. I have a lot of boxes or bags of coins here. It's fun. No, I don't know what that is. Huh. I don't know what that is. I've never seen one like that. You see how it's kind of... I mean, I'm erring on the side of its damage, but I'm trying to figure out what would damage it like that. I'm going to keep it just for further looking later under a little more magnification. That'll go in my potential error coin box, and we keep going. And this would be my luck. I'd have a high D on that one, or a high leaf. High D. Come on. Always looking for the die clash. Always looking for just nice coins. I forgot I was talking about the uncirculated set I got, which was really super cool. And you see what an actual uncirculated coin looks like. At this point, I've decided I am only hunting errors. Yeah. Again, there's going to be plastic, so I'm not taking these out of the plastic yet. This was like it's like that Littleton set. They're not perfect. There's still going to be contact marks on them. Happens at the mint. What happens at the mint stays at the mint. You know what I mean? But these are cool. But comparing that to like the ones you're seeing in coin rolls is kind of disappointing. Like, I have to rethink all of the coins I have, because I have like all of the America the Beautiful coins. Obviously I have all of them, like, in like the circulated ones, but I have them all, they're the best ones collected and sorted into, each one into its own plastic roll. I do have a camera on order, so I can at least show you my desktop. I'd like to share my desktop and show you guys, well, show anybody who in the future actually watches any of this, if they do, what's going on, what my system is. I developed it in like over 3 seasons in the Octagon. So, maybe it's worth just taking a look. This at first I looked at, thought I saw a double die. It's likely just machine. Yeah, it's probably actually a deteriorated die on the British surrender 1777. I don't think there's anything there. Could look it up, but that would be probably even less exciting to watch than this. So let's just go. Probably gonna put Sean on Blue Ridge Silverhound for a few. This is amazing. Oh. Hold on. Do you know what that means? It's eBay time again. Still the high bidder. I have no idea how I'm the high bidder. Is this a scam? This guy has 216 sales. 1 minute 27 left. Jesus, this is so stressful. So what I'm bidding on are 4 West Point proof 2020W nickels. It's a lot of 4. Like, there's 1 minute left. I'm still the high bidder. They're easily $10 coins on a resale. I mean, they're selling some of them for like 20. But I'm trying to lowball it and say they're worth 10. Still winning. 37 seconds left. Is anybody gonna bid? There's still 5 bids. Current bid is 33 bucks, and that's me. 27 seconds. I got into a bid war earlier on a reverse proof PF 69, I believe. Still 13, 12, 11, 10. It's really stressful. It looks like I won. Holy cow. It did get up to 41 bucks at the very end. That's cool though. That's cool. That's it. I'm done. I have all the West Point coins that I want. And I'm done. I do intend to maybe sell 3 of those and just keep the 1. So that was fun. Alright. Now back to Pocket Change market report. And okay. Here we go. More coins. More somebody else talking. I'm gonna drink a little tea. If I see anything good, I'm gonna stop. You know. So let's go. I'm gonna mute myself. Otherwise, I'm gonna just talk over another dude talking.
Hey, well, we got the weekend edition of the Pocket Change Market Report. This one dropping on Sunday, February 18th. 2024. I want to thank you guys for coming on board as we take a look at some of the neatest, most relevant coins to have sold on eBay just within the last 24 to 48 hours. To kind of help preface a lot of the other videos I've done like this, this is simply a compilation and a look of coins that have been found out there in the wild, whether you're an avid coin roll hunter or you like to go through your kids' pocket change or piggy bank for that matter. I probably wouldn't recommend, going into their kids' pants pockets and pulling out all the money and looking at it. I mean, you could do that. I mean, could consider it a little bit of a bonus for doing their laundry for the first 16 years of their life, whatever. But also, if you have the ability to cherry pick some of your local coin shops and even some of the shows, that's another way that you can find some of the coins that we're going to highlight for you here today that you could turn around and resell or simply add them to your collection for a much cheaper rate than, say, if you would have paid full price for the already attributed coins. So here we are. I'd like to say we're still in a fresh year. We are almost to the end of the month of February. We do indeed see some 2024 coinage out there. There were a few different types of listings that really caught my eye. One in particular, and we're going to address that right now in this video, along with a few other things as well that's really shaken up the marketplace. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting to talk about some of these coins here for you today. You never know, you might have some of these in your collection, and maybe it's high time that you want to go ahead and sell them. Completely optional. So outside of that, a few little other things that we also have to keep in mind. I don't talk about graded coins in here. Grading is an extra element that we do not necessarily need in some of these errors and varieties we're going to talk about here today. Just keep that money in your pocket. You're going to probably do yourself a whole bigger favor by doing it that way than you would if you would have graded it. It doesn't necessarily add the extra value. And the photos you're going to see here today are 100% original to the original seller's listings. All right, so please do keep that in mind as well as we go through some of these listings here today. All right, so I guess without further ado, we're going to go ahead and shoot right into this. Thank you guys for coming on board, and I do appreciate all of your support. And yeah, let's go ahead and do this right now. So we're going to start things off here with a couple pieces of paper money. They're actually quite neat, to be honest with you. Hard to believe that, you could have found some of these out in circulation back in the day. So we're going to start things off here with our lovely looking Benjamin Franklin. This one looks to be a 1996 $100 bill. This is the first year that they had modified the $100 bill to a much bigger design of portrait. They hadn't quite added all the colorization and all the other anti-counterfeiting things that we're all so used to seeing on our newest $100 bills today. So this one right here, I wouldn't necessarily say that the written in ink annotation right on the face of the note adds any value. It usually detracts from that. When simply they call it, I guess, damage in a way when there's handwriting on there. But all the goods is going to be on the reverse, as we see some sort of like obstruction print. There was something on the subject sheet face.
How do I not talk?
The print was happening here. Could have, I don't know. Could have been some scrap paper. As clean as that edge looks, some would say that it might even be a board break error as well.
I look at a lot of singles.
So they look rather similar, and they're kind of priced similar too.
Sometimes.
So this $100 bill here, even with the writing on the front of the note, ended up selling for $183.89.
Okay, that's not bad.
With 35 bids. So the lesson here: look at both sides of your note. You just never know what you're going to find. And our next one here is a 1985 $10 bill. This one showing a pretty pronounced and very gross misaligned print that we see there on the second print, which is the black kind of base print on the front of the note with Alexander Hamilton's portrait there. The serial numbers and seals all seem to be centered to the note. And the reason why I say that, and some people will say, oh, that's a miscut error. It's not going to be miscut if it's, pretty well centered on the reverse.
Oh, man's got a point.
Usually the back, the front, and everything will be all off-center, respective to the note itself. So this 1985 $10 bill, this is the oldie right here, sold for $157.39, and that's with 26 bits.
That's a big sale.
The coins, definitely no shortage of both off-center strikes, broad strikes, and double-struck coins. Like, all of a sudden, a lot of them entered into the marketplace here. Just in the last few days. Here's a what is supposed to be a Jefferson nickel. It's struck off center out of collar, by roughly 90%. All right, so it grabbed just a little piece of that planchet, and now it's a struck coin. Now, what we don't know is what the date is, because the off-center struck portion of it is a completely different area of the coin. It's not where the date is. So it's an undated error in a way. Some would say it's not as valuable, but this one right here, a very nice example of something so crazy looking. Sold for $20.45. All right, so that's that one there. Here's a 1955 S Lincoln wheat cent. Yeah, it's got some color on there. Lincoln cents are really easy to tone in some ways. That's not the big reason why that this coin is here, although it does not necessarily hurt the fact that it does have eye appeal. I think it's a very attractive looking piece. But if you look there on the reverse, that die crack that's going through that left wheat stalk is actually what they call a pre-cud formation. So the die, just through general wear and tear, undergoes a lot of stress. They will crack, they'll break, pieces begin to fall out, things like that. That's what we're seeing here. Now with a some sort of displacement, some sort of shift. And we see that here. When you look at where the crack goes into the device, you're going to notice that there is a shift in the design, which means that that piece of the die was shifting and shaking back and forth. It was rattling loose. It was probably on its way to falling out completely. So this example here is sold for $29.99. That's usually toward the top end of what a lot of pre-cud errors go for. As long as it's not a full-blown cud, and those generally sell for a lot more money, these things will always kind of be like a little bit lower in value, but they're not worthless. And here's an example of a bigger full-blown cud on a Colorado state quarter. This one's dated 2006. It is a Philadelphia minted specimen, but on this one, if you look at the reverse, where the design goes nearly to the edge, that's a very vulnerable point on the dies. They tend to break and crack, and pieces fall out right around this area quite a bit. And the Colorado state quarter is not the only one where you can find this anomaly at. There's the South Dakota state quarter. The West Virginia is a big one as well. It's got a very busy design that goes all the way up to the rim. But if you look on the reverse at the 3 o'clock position on the Colorado side, you can see that cut. That's after the piece of die had fallen out. All the metal flow goes into that empty spot, that cavity in the die during the strike, creating the raised blob effect that you see here. Now these cud state quarters, very common. If you are either on the west or east coast of the U.S., you can find these. You just have to look for them. And as a result, they don't sell for nearly as much as some of the others. This one sold for only $10. We have a 1961 Lincoln Memorial Cent. Man, this thing's kind of crazy looking. This is, it has a couple different types of terminology. The one that we hear a lot is ragged clip. So it's kind of like the end of sheet clip. But, some would even say it's called a fissure as well. Where you could actually see the texturing of the ragged clip right there. And especially if you have what they call a blowhole, where you see that crack that goes through Lincoln's head. If there's another kind of like fissure, like in the middle of that crack where you could see through it, that's what they call a blowhole or a fissure. But yeah, these are quite neat. As far as the market is concerned, they're not quite up there yet. But I have a feeling that one day, because of how dramatic these things look, they're going to get their time in the light. This one right here managed to sell for $16.96. Well, not bad. I feel right here managed to sell for $16.96. Well, not bad. I feel like that they probably could do better, maybe in the near future. Here's another off-center struck nickel. This time we can actually see a full readable date. It's a 1984 Philly. This one also struck off-center by about 85 to 90%. I mean, it's pretty crazy, but you do have a full readable date. And it does impact the value quite a bit because collectors of these type of errors, they collect these by date. All right, so they want one of each date. It's also worth mentioning that this one looks to have an indent right on the off-center struck portion of it, which means it was overlapping another planchet during the strike, which is quite crazy. This is actually a very crazy looking error. This one sold for $85.74, and that's with 9 total bids. Quite an active listing here. Here's another 1984 off-center struck Jefferson nickel. This is a coin that is off-center by roughly 85%. And you notice that on the reverse of the coin that there's no design details. That means that this is what they call a uniface. This is a complement to another coin that was overlapping it. So there is another coin out there somewhere in the world that probably mates up to this one perfectly. And with this particular coin, this one also sold for a good amount of money, $54, and that's with 22 total bids. I know a lot of people have said, well, it's unrealistic to find coins like this and change, and I completely agree. But if you do come across some of these at a coin shop, and there are coin shops that don't particularly care about errors and varieties, so they will not necessarily fire sale these things, but they're going to offer them out to the public at a much cheaper price just so they can move it and then make room for inventory that they do excel in. So I have personally bought coins similar to this for right around $15 to $20 at coin shops and shows. Bargain bins will have these. Just make sure you know what you're getting, and if it has a full readable date, that is going to be a boon to your wallet. That's going to be one of the best things that you could do. Here's a double struck Jefferson nickel, 1980p this time around. The secondary strike is about 85% off center. And another big one, $65, 17 total bids. These are quite collectible and very dramatic. They have the eye appeal that is unmatched. And that's why they're one of the more popularly collected U.S. mint errors today. And this double struck is a 1983 Philadelphia. It's always good that if you do come across these, if it's got 2 readable dates where the off-center portion of it also has a readable date, that kicks these things into gear in a whole new way. Gone is a $50 to $75 coin, but we're probably going to be talking about $150 to $200 coin at that level. With 2 readable dates, that is. So this example, much like the previous, good strong sale, ended at $46, and that's with 7 bids. Franklin half dollars. This is our second consecutive week that we've highlighted a Franklin half dollar mint error. This one, not too crazy. I've actually found a few of these. 1959 Denver Franklin half dollar is a coin that was struck on a defective planchet. If you look at the reverse, there's a lot of lamination issues here. All right, so you can see just the flaking of the metal coming off of the coin, as there are impurities within this alloy that they made for the composition. It didn't really hold together too well, and there were coins that were struck on these defective planchets. So this one sold for $37.45. This is a coin that you could very easily buy for melt, which is around $10 these days. But you can turn around and flip that puppy for 3 to 4x what your initial investment is. That is kind of the ticket in making this whole thing work. 1919 Buffalo nickel. This one is what they call the 2-feather variety. So there is a 3rd feather that is omitted here on this one, and that particular feather was over polished away. And then they did it to a bunch of other dates as well. So these are all Cherry Pickers Guide varieties. There are some dates that are more tough to find than others, and that will greatly affect the value. This one is actually a nice shape. It's a good kind of like VF35 level
Pictures
coin.
aren't.
And this one sold for $85.
Wow.
Okay, which seems like a lot of money for such a common date, but when it comes to two-feather buffaloes, they're very well collected, and people want the nicer grades where they're not completely worn slick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also have a double-struck Washington quarter. This thing is this is a smoke show right here. Even though it has no readable date, it's got Liberty times 2.
It's
got
that
quarter
word.
dollar times 2. This thing is outrageous, and because of that, this one managed to bring $203.79. Yeah, all of these crazy off-centers, double strikes, and stuff that you've seen so far,
a lot of them.
None of them are graded. And, I would probably encourage anyone not to grade any of them, as they will continue to keep the value that they have. So, yeah, this is the one listing that kind of caught my eye.
Errors?
And there are some things that you guys need to know about. All right.
How does he know?
This one was sold by T&D's Pocket Change for Vets, which is cool. I like that. So, if anything... the sale that obviously probably some of this goes to support veterans. Very cool. I like that.
Does it?
It's a roll of 2024 Philadelphia Lincoln cents. I think it's like the one of just a couple
much longer on this piece?
Fresh new sales of Philadelphia minted Lincoln Shield cents. Okay, we've seen a lot of Denver coins, but not too many Phillies. So this one right here, the seller mentioned it's got heads showing on both sides. It's a DDO roll. And they even said in their listing that it's a DDO number 1.
What?
So wasn't aware that there was an attributed variety yet for 2024 Lincoln cents. I went to check Wexler and Wiles variety catalog, and they don't have anything in there. So I don't know if it's legit or not. That's the only thing that I'm kind of questioning with this.
How much they sell it for?
If there was a legitimate DDO number 1 that's been attributed so far by one of the big, enthusiasts. But nonetheless, this roll right here sold for $46. So that's with 27 bids.
Wow. 50 cents.
Definitely a lot of bidding, a lot of support here for this one. So I'd like to know if there really is a DDO number 1.
Show me.
I haven't heard anything, and the seller didn't have any close-ups of what that doubling could be.
Yeah.
So, I would love to know more. Again, it's me not knowing 100% of everything out there.
Of course.
As you know, this is kind of like a hot new trending development. So,
yes.
I have also seen outside of this other 2024 coins. With like dye chips and stuff. So there are some of those that are starting to come out into circulation. Mostly we've seen them on Lincoln cents so far.
I do have an unopened box of pennies on the floor. I have not, broken the tape on it or anything. And I was just going to say, wow, what if there's some 24s in there? But then I just realized that I hardly get 23s. It's like I'm a year behind at my bank. 22s, forget it. I got gazillions. I think everybody else is getting to the 2023s. I got to figure out who Starbucks gets their coins from, which big service, because I'll tell you, they got the goods. They got all rolls of 23s the other day. For like 2 weeks straight. Well, I don't go in there like every day, but I went in there on one weekend, and then I went in there on the next weekend because it's by the store I like to shop at, and I like books. It's at Barnes & Noble. So, my God, man. 2 weeks in a row of straight 23 cents in that register. Yeah. Which to me is a big deal. Imagine what I'm going to be like if I get a 24. West Point? Nope. These 71s can be light. They can have some issues. This one looks pretty good. You know how like shit just feels light? It's not light. But do you keep that? It's not. No, you don't keep that. Not after looking at uncirculated quarters, pal. You don't. I wish I had some not in plastic. I really would love to show you these quarters. They're just absolutely stunning. So excited. Yeah, I'm not going to get them out because it's ridiculous. Go look it up if you want to see it. I mean, sometimes you get stuff in here that looks pretty good. And truth be told, I'm really looking for errors. And only errors. Unless there's some of the new ones like the Tall Chief. Maria Tall Chief, the dancing thing woman there. Thing. Wow. Harsh. Woman. Okay.
You know, could possibly find them on the new quarters that are coming out. So we'll see.
Last point.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Nope. 2024 shaping up to be what might be a good year.
It's gonna be a great year.
The brand new coins. We'll see. And then a nice one here. This is actually a nice high grade 1970s. This is a large date, by the way. Lincoln Memorial Sand. It's got 2 sheet clips on there. Anything more than one is always a bonus. $29.95 for the sale, and that's with 14 bids. We also have this 1965 beautifully toned Lincoln. It's a little bit off center, and it looks like there's a little bit of a partial collar as well on there. So the collar was kind of tilted a little bit. It wasn't completely engaged. So when the coin was struck, it did catch a little bit of that one high edge of the collar, which shows as a step on the reverse there. So this one right here, folks, sold for $37.28 with 18 bids. I think the combination of the mid-air and the color really took this one to that next price level. And we also have this 1936, again from the same seller. This one is slightly off-center. Nothing too crazy. It's kind of an old beater, kind of like well-loved coin. $23.45, and that's with 18 bids here. And this one looks quite honest. And honestly, this is something that I need to do better.
I feel like this one is clashed. Let's look right here. This is Washington's neck, and here's his jawline. Neck, and then jawline. See that obtuse angle there? And then you should be able to follow it around. His nose is right here. His head will be up in here, I believe. I don't see it. You don't usually always see everything. And then it would come back down here. It does a little thing right here where his hair is. See that little thing I'm talking about? It's not bad. Definitely is clashed right here. You can probably see a little bit of his nose. Sometimes you can see his ponytail coming down right through here, I believe. It's right there. So it'll be right there. You can see it a little bit. Yeah. It's a keeper. I put it with my Clash Die saved coins, which I have a lot. I gotta tell you, tomorrow I need to go through all of my eBay stuff. Stuff that I need to list. And I need to get some sort of level of organization going in here because it's going crazy. That was the first 5 rolls. Let's keep going, huh? I think this is roll number 6. Again, I have quarters, a box of quarters, a box of $50 coming this weekend. I mean, you know, next weekend, this coming weekend. So that's going to be pretty exciting. I haven't seen $50 in a while. Yeah, look forward to it.
And looking more for, especially after this sale. It's a 2017 $1 bill.
Ooh.
But if you look at that last digit, the
8.
serial number on the top right corner, you're going to see that number 8 is set off a little bit higher than the rest. So they call this a gas pump error. It's actually just a turn digit on that dial. It's slightly turned a little bit to where it's going to show that shift. So this note right here, $23.29 for this one.
That's a good one.
And that's with 13 bits. So there's a lot of rewards here.
Very nice.
Just by hunting through paper money, especially going to the bank and getting, you know, some dollar bills. There's the inkwell contamination error that's like hot off the rigs right now. There's things like this. There's fancy serial numbers. There's low print star notes.
I'm telling you, if you have any of these
things, it's kind of a good time to be alive
and
to be a part of this segment of numismatics. This hobby is just going to get even more explosive in the future. There's a look at the back again. You know, pretty well circulated piece, probably a low NVF 25, somewhere around there.
I do need to know more about grading. Oh,
obviously, this is a coin that you want to find. It doesn't matter the condition. Like this 1972 Lincoln Memorial,
I don't know how much.
It looks clean. It doesn't have any luster whatsoever. It's got a very high polished, glossy look to most of the coin.
Oh boy!
But what we cannot ignore is the fact that this thing has some of the craziest doubling that you will see on any date of Lincoln.
Yeah, it's better than
short
what
of
I
the
have,
55 and the 69S. I mean, look at the doubling on the motto, "In God We Trust," on Liberty, on the date, on Lincoln's vest, and all that. And you know that this is the FS 101 variety. This is the big one. So I couldn't get it to work when I was looking for the price on this.
Nice.
They were asking $492.95. A best offer was accepted. I just don't know what that amount is. I'm figuring it's somewhere in that like $350 to $400 range, because the coin is kind of like an AU details level grade here. Again, it does appear to be clean.
Banger.
From my look at these photos.
I have a 72,
neat one
but
here,
not that
1981 $1 bill.
Die.
Just simply, it's miscut. It's showing also the top edge of the sheet, which they call the selvage. Not salvage, but selvage, S-E-L is how it's spelled. So everything is all together. Like the first, third, and second print are all aligned together. If it was just perfectly cut, it would be the perfect note. I also like the sheet number where it's showing a fancy serial 474774. I thought that was kind of neat. When we look at the back, you know, same thing here. Everything is all in line. It's just badly miscut. So this thing was probably found a long time ago when it was first released. Always good to see. $208.49 with a couple of bids. So it was a very, very big note on the auction scene, and only like a couple people really ever took it seriously. So again, that's kind of like a trophy note that you want to find out in circulation, and they're out there, you know. This is our one and only listing of the Extra V 2023 Lincolns.
Killing me.
So this seller had a pair of them. All right, and from what I could see, these look like they've circulated a little bit. They got little.
Guess the price on these. Let's guess. I'm thinking for both of them $85.
Contact marks and a few scrapes on both sides of the coin. They're not the most perfect looking examples, but again, when the grading companies are grading
85.
the extra V as a variety, that kind of makes you take notice. So right there on the truncation of Lincoln's bust, you can see an extra little V notch next to
I've not
Victor
found
David
one.
Brenner's
Not
initials,
one.
which are the sculptor's design initials for the coin. This one right here, the 2 coins sold for $75.
That's close.
All right,
That's
which
at
puts them at
85.
about 37 and a half.
They're not that great in condition on these
that's
two.
kind of like a normal average for these type of things. They're not selling for hundreds of dollars anymore unless it's graded. That's
Or
where
if
all
it's
the money
really,
is
really
here.
nice. Those aren't that great.
And this poor old unfortunate soul, while it looks neat, this one I'm going to consider it to be damaged because it was helped along. It's a 1967 Roosevelt dime, which used to be a clamshell lamination, and whoever owned it bent it back and forth and pulled it off. It's very easy to see that it was helped along. And
so
if you do come across a clamshell, they're worth more with it attached on the coin than it is pulled apart like this. This is a bad look for things like this. I just thought I'd let you know that
you never see them like that.
it's always easier to keep them together and not do anything with it. They're going to be worth a lot more. So this clamshell, $21.96 with 5 bids. If it would have stayed together, you just took a nice edge shot at the split, it probably would have been a $50 bill. That's just my opinion, because I've sold a number of these over the years, and it's just unfortunate to see this. Here's one that a lot of people, I think, probably don't remember. All right, either that or they forgot. 2015 Philly Homestead National Park quarter with the crazy doubling in the window right there. You see the extra pump handle.
I'm always looking for that.
This is the WDDR number 4. This is the biggest one of the group.
Is it?
And you looked at the coin. The thing is circulating quite a bit. This coin in unk condition about 8 years ago, used to sell for like $20. It was a very affordable variety, and a lot of people had it.
And now
there's not so many of them out in the open market, and the ones that we do have are pretty well circulated.
I know
this one right here is sold for $35.54. I mean, that's crazy. To buy one that's pretty well worn like this. So yeah, I mean that just goes to show you that after a while, some of these varieties they kind of fall off. Especially ones like this that are really quite interesting.
Somebody had these. Oh, look at that lamination.
We also have this 1920 Lincoln wheat cent. This one, it's a well-loved beater. It has seen all the surface it needs to see out in commerce. Delamination is what we have here. So again, that Franklin $half that we saw earlier in the show, this is what that looks like when a big piece of the lamination falls off. This one right here is sold for $15.45.
How cool would that have been
Not the creep.
if that was it? This one has the beginning of the leaky bucket happening. You can see the start of the break or whatever. Alright, I think that what I need to do, I need to take a break for like just a few minutes. I was going to do this. I was going to open another YouTube.
Hello everybody, how's it going? It's Treasure Town here, and today I'm going to be presenting on the top 9 most valuable state quarters and their varieties to look for in your change. Some are worth a little bit of money, some are worth a lot of money, but regardless, I think that it would be worth it to stick around and check out the 9 different types. So coming in at number 9 is the 1999 Delaware Spitting Horse. Really what it is it's a die crack. If you can see right here there is a crack that looks like spit coming from the horse's mouth. It's not worth too much money. They're worth between $2 and $20, but Delaware does have a lot of minted coins. Delaware is a common one, so it's worth just checking if you have one in your change. Next up, number 8 is the 2012 Denali Double Die coin. There's actually 2 different doublings on this coin. The first, it's pretty apparent. On the obverse, it's simply just the unum is doubled, and there's a fair amount of doubling on the obverse of this coin. And then the other one is on the back. It looks like a ram, and there is almost an extra neck. This is a pretty profound example of that doubling. But some of them are much less pronounced. However, it's a good pickup. Denali coins are actually quite rare just to find it in general in circulation, but it would be valued between $3 and $20 as well. Number 7, it is the 2006 P Colorado Cud Error. A Cud error is, as you can see, it's like there's almost an overflow of the edge, and it forms a cud on the side of the coin. For Colorado coins, they're almost always on on this side, like 3 o'clock if it were to be on a clock. This one has a value of between $5 and up to $35, so keep an eye out for this one. Number 6 is the Arizona Extra Cactus Leaves error. It's found obviously on the back, and on the right I have an example of what it should look like, and there's I believe that's JGM, but it's the engraver's initials below the cactus. If you look to your left, now there is an extra leaf almost that covers part of the engraver's initials, and these are worth between $10 and $20, but you can generally tell if the engraver's initials are obscured. Number 5 is the Kansas In God We Rust quarter. Now it's not that they minted it with rust, but rather there's a really weak dye for the T. In this example, you can still see the faint T, and in this, you really cannot, but that's what ends up happening. And this has a value of about $15 to $35, so even at the low end, it's still a relatively desirable coin. And next is when we start getting to some more valuable varieties. Number 4 is the Wyoming Double Die Reverse. On the back, it's like a bucking horse, and in this, it's pretty tough to see from this view, but I put an arrow there, or the photo did, and there's just some doubling on the back. Again, very apparent on the horse. On the right photo, it's again probably in the horse's mane, I believe, but there's some doubling along this line. So these have an unknown value, but on eBay there's an MS64 example up for about $100. So I think that these ones are pretty valuable, though I could be wrong on that. Number 3 is the 2005 Minnesota Reverse Error backs. Okay, there's actually a lot of different.
This is a pretty old video of his. He's been around for a while, obviously, and is still around, and he knows a lot of stuff. But we're gonna go back to Blue Ridge Silverhound.
Easiest looking piece, as it shows a lot of other issues that are not mint related. A lot of post mint damage here, but you should never toss these back. They will always be worth something to someone. An undated Lincoln Memorial set. This is a copper coated zinc, by the way. Broad struck, out of collar, and also with an indent, which means there was another planchet that was overlapping it during the strike. This thing had a million of problems, and it's cool. I like things like this. This one sold for $42.45. We also have the big time 1981 $5 bill with a grossly misaligned black overprint. The green is fine, you know, but yeah, the other elements to that third print are completely way off here on this one. So you see the black district seal is shifted way down, and then also the corner twos as well for the district number. $160 was the sale price on this one. Again, some pretty crazy sales out there. It's a VF condition now. It looks like there's a little bit of an edge split, top right corner on the reverse there. And finally, we're going to end it off on a big, giant Cud die break on this 1972D Lincoln Memorial. And to say that you can't find anything out in circulation, look at this thing. It's not brand new. It wasn't minted yesterday. Many people have held this one. When someone looked at it, they're probably thinking to themselves, oh, yeah, this thing's damaged. Or, you know, someone poured melted copper on it and then it towed after a while. I don't know. There's
All right. What's the price on this one? $125. That's my guess.
I've heard a lot of things over the years, and I just shake my head. I'm like, you can believe that? I'll take it off your hands, and I'll make the money. And that's what this person did here. So again, I couldn't find the best offer price. The original asking price was $150. I would probably imagine it's sold for about half that, which is usually the going rate for Cuds of this size. Kind of like that $70 to $80 range. Okay. Still a great sale, whatever it is. And a really cool
120.
I love these, and I have my own little collection of Cud die breaks as well. All right, well, that's it. Hopefully this video gives you a little bit of inspiration to do your own hunting. We're heading into coin show season. That, huh? I'm going to be at like 3 or 4 coin shows here in the next couple months. It's going to be huge, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So keep in mind, this video is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is financial advice. Please do collect and grade responsibly. And thank you for watching. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge.
Are double dies your worst enemy? Can you?
Yes. All right, well, we got the weekend.
Sean's video.
Are double dies your worst enemy?
Yes.
Can you identify double dies?
Yes.
I mean, is it something you have a lot of trouble with?
Yes.
Then you want to watch this video.
Yes.
I'm going to go over some details about double dies and exactly what double dies are. So stay tuned.
Yes. Whoa, stereo.
Okay.
I need stereo.
Doubled.
You know what I need
dies.
is a better. What I need is a better freaking banner and a better thing like thumbnail for my channel. As soon as we hit double-digit subs, man, you know what I mean? Can't be messing around anymore with this dollar store shit. Yeah.
Are dies that are doubled. A coin with a double die was struck by a die that was already doubled.
Allegedly.
This is a die. The face of this die was ground off, but it was actually a state quarter die. Now, we all know you have the hammer die
for a few and eat some popcorn. I'll be
anvil die.
I'll be here with you, though.
I kind of got an idea that they hit a planchet and strike the coin. What we want to look at is how double dies are formed. And what you have is a master hub. The master hub has the design of the coin raised on the surface. Okay, it's the positive. Used to, before the 90s, there was what they call the double squeeze method, and you have a die that has a conical shape.
Never ever forget the double tap method.
And it's the working die. This is the die that strikes the coins. You have the master hub that comes down into that for the first squeeze.
Well, that's a nice looking coin. Really.
A lot of times, after the first squeeze, what they would do is take the working die with the first squeeze in it, which has an incuse, real shallow incuse design at this point. Take it to the oven and anneal it, heat it up to soften it, so that it can accept the next squeeze. When they did that, sometimes they would reinstall the die counterclockwise, or maybe even tilt it a little bit or whatever, and it would actually, when it did the second squeeze, it would create a second impression of the design right next to what already was squeezed into the die. Sometimes that impression was a little bit weaker, sometimes it was the same, it was strong, and it depends on which double die you're talking about, because there are 8 different classes. I've heard 9 different classes. Wechsler has 8 listed, but for the sake of argument here, we're going to be looking at double dies that are created from the double and the single squeeze. Now, the single squeeze method was used currently to prevent double dies from occurring, but it actually did the opposite. It stopped certain double dies from being formed. Those dies for the single squeeze are not as stationary as the dies that the way they did the master hubs during the double squeeze. So whenever the die is making the impression, it can sometimes move into place. If it was out of place a little bit, that forms the second impression. You can see that on the 2009, where the lettering is into the piano keys. It's a nice little spread on that. I'm not trying to get into all the classes because people need to understand double dies versus strike doubling. And the bottom line is that you had the master hub, I'm going to be redundant here, and it did the squeeze into the working die. So you can pretend this is a working die, and it actually doubled that die. The coin itself is a blank planchet that gets in the coining chamber. It has no doubled nothing on it. Okay, so it's struck with a double die. In my opinion, I think we should be calling them struck by a double die, just like we do struck through a piece of cloth. Because when you call a coin a double die, it confuses people into thinking that the coin's actually doubled. The design is doubled, but it was struck by a die that was doubled. That's very important here, because people are confusing it with strike double coins or mechanical double coins or push doubling or chatter, whatever you want to call ejection chatter, whatever it is that you name your strike doubling, okay, happens during the strike, and the die itself is not doubled at all. Now, I'm not saying that they don't both occur at one time. It has happened, but that's not the point. The point of it is that if you want to attribute a double die, okay, it's not a strike double coin. All of your major double dies, anything that's worth money, is not strike double too, or mechanical double, or whatever you want to call it. It's a double die, and that's what it is. So, to kind of clarify, a double die coin is actually struck by a doubled die. Okay, a strike double coin is struck by a die that was not installed properly. And let's say there's a little bit of play. So what happens is you've got a normal die, and a planchet gets into the coining chamber. The die comes down, strikes the coin, and it moves a little bit. It jars. When it does that, it actually cuts into the devices of the coin. It doesn't have to be on all parts of the design. It can be just on the mint mark. It can just be on part of the date. But the bottom line is that there is a movement. And that movement actually scrapes metal like a snow shovel or like an X-Acto knife away from the sides of the letters, the numbers, the bust, whatever design feature it is. Okay? Completely different from a double die. Not even related whatsoever. So now, when you have a strike double coin, you have a coin that was actually damaged by the die. It was damaged because the die scraped metal away. And that letter, that bust, or that number, whichever it might be, is actually smaller now. It looks like it's doubled, but it's not double. It's actually smaller because you took metal away from it. Now, obviously that mass is spread out. I do want to also clarify that there are different types of strike doubling. You have flat filled, where the die was closer to the face when it moved, and it looks really flat, and a lot of times that'll be pretty wide. It'll have a wide, flat, shelf-like area. And then you have it in the middle, where the die started retracting even more, and it's kind of like in the middle of the, and I call it middle filled, basically. where it'll cut into the side and spread a little bit, but it won't be that wide of a shelf. And then there's the high field, which, in other words, barely cut into the top of the design. And this is the one that fools a lot of people. I do have an example of this I want to show you. It's so high up on the numbers or letters that it almost looks like it could be a double die because it shows a very small shelf. And you almost have to see that with magnification. So that way you know that there are different kinds of strike double coins, okay? And that's important because that way you can understand whatever level they are here? Whenever that die scraped into the side of the numbers or the letters, that it's still not a double die because it's still not making the letters, the numbers, or the devices of any way, shape, or form larger. It's not a double impression. It's not a thicker impression. It's not a, you know, whatever it would take. So I want to show you a little bit, some diagrams here. I want to do for you. I'm going to try to do this. Okay. One thing I want everybody to realize: I'm going to draw a 1 as it is on a Lincoln cent or a coin. And when you're thinking about a loose die, a die that is not stationary, and if it jars when it's retracting from the devices or strike, then it's actually going to, the edge of that die cavity for the 1, let's say here, is going to actually cut. And it's going to create what we call a shelf-like appearance. And this is it. It actually scrapes metal away. Scrapes. This is metal that's scraped away from the 1's side. And it actually makes this area smaller. And you got the metal coming out here. It's just damaged, okay? Now, when you have a doubled 1 from a doubled die, and that 2 squeezes, or even if the 1 squeeze and it just goes out of place, it won't look exactly like this. For the sake of keeping it as simple as possible here, I want to show you how that looks, or at least it should look to your eyes. And this is like on the 1955 double die and the 1969 double die, S actually. You're looking for actual doubled. It's not strike doubled, it's actually doubled. And this is what it looks like pretty much. And you're looking for an extra thickness, a separation. You don't always have that because, like I said, there is other types of double dies, and I'm not trying to confuse anyone, but there are extra thick lettering that doesn't have some notching on it, and that's called what they call distended hub doubled. So your distended hub doubled would just be an extra thicker 1. And what happens is with this type of double die, a class 6 double die, in other words, from the heating and the pressure on the dies that were trying to create the working die, the design actually became thicker from the distortion, and it made it thicker lettering actually with the oppression of the lettering and the oppression of the dates and everything is just thicker. Okay, I'm not really wanting to go into all the classes of double dies, but it's hard not to mention them. Most of them are just about the direction, whether it be clockwise, counterclockwise, north, south, things like that. That kind of describes it. You also have tilted hub doubled, where it's tilted a little bit. And in one of these videos, I'm going to go through every one of those and explain it. But for the sake of this video, I want everyone to just be able to properly identify most double dies that we see and not mistake them for strike doubled coins. Now what I want to do here, I want to also do a 9. 9s are not as easy to draw. Let's see. First, we'll do a normal 9. First off, I want to do a 9. Okay, now if this 9 is actually doubled, okay, by a double die, then it can look different ways depending on which class of double die it is. But for the sake of being confusing here, I don't want to be confusing, I just want to show you one class. And what you want to look for is a little bit of notching, okay? What we're going to, as you can see, it's already a little bit thicker. Notching's often in this area. A lot of times you will see a little bit of the doubled areas in here, a split.
This is very good right here, this info. The notching. This notching. Look for that.
Sometimes the spreads can be pretty wide on these. It's not always wide, but you definitely at the end here, you want to see there's the notching on one of these ends. You know, look really close, sometimes it's really small. I know that I don't want to be confusing with my drawing here, but you know, you got a little bit of a notching. That's what you want to look for. Sometimes it's really light. A lot of times when you've got a T, because T's are a little bit, sometimes they're a little more difficult, but what you'll have is you'll have a little notch right here on the T, or it'll be up here on the T. Same thing with an E. You know, you'll have a little bit of a notching up here. And it won't be on most of the others, but you'll see at the bottom part of it maybe. You'll see a little bit of a notch. Another thing is like on the Y's, you'll often see a Y, and
Was I just eating popcorn on mute? It's okay. I want to see something. He's talking about the E and notching. I think this E has notching. I was like munching on popcorn, like enthralled. How close can I get? We're breaking all the rules, folks. Trying to see if I can see any notching. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Well, still not sure if that's a double die or not. For me, it looks smeared. Check this one for the double die. I don't see it. All right. Burb.
it'll just have a little bit of the notching at the bottom. And that's one of the things you can look for too. It doesn't mean that it has to have notching, but most of the time your double dies are going to have some type of notching on them. You know, some type of little separation. Your major double dies like 1955, the 69S, the 72, 001, those are extreme separations. I mean, they're really separate. You can tell the difference in those. It looks just like the one back here. It looks just like this right here pretty much. I mean, you can really see it, its separations on it. Here we're going to look at some pictures of strike doubled coins. And I know these can be kind of confusing, but when you're looking at coins, you want to look at all directions. Here's an example. It's flat, and it's where the metal's been scraped away. It's got toning in there, so it's hard to see. That's another thing that can confuse people when you see toning. Toning doesn't make a coin a double die. The actual die has to be doubled, the actual features. Right here is another example. It just cut right into it. That's just a cut into the coin. That's the difference here, is what you're looking for. Here's an example that can fool a lot of people. This is cut. It's flat shelf like it's cut. What will confuse some people is in the B, because the B is curved, it kind of looks like it might be doubled. You see that? But it's actually so high up in what I was calling high field double die, which is really not on the field, but it's just for want of a better word trying to describe this. The die actually almost completely retracted off this coin when after it struck it, and just jarred enough to cut into the tops of the devices. That's why this kind of strike double and mechanical doubling is hard to identify for some people. And when you get on such a small coin, this is on a 10th ounce $5 gold coin, when you find it on such a small coin, it can be very confusing. Here's an example. It's a little bit blurry, but here's the 9 that's been cut into, that's flat, shelf-like. You're trying to decipher. Also, you see it on the mint mark, then you know it's definitely strike doubled, because back in 1974, the mint marks were hand punched into the die. So the die would already have been created, and would already have been created as doubled. So the mint mark was put on afterwards. So if you see this on the mint mark, then you know that this is not going to be a double die. That'll help you identify it as well. Here is some die deterioration, strike doubled areas. As you can see, I'm pointing out, I'm going to go through these here with you. I've got several images to show you, but it's very important. Redundancy in this is very important until you understand it, until you learn to identify it, eyeball this stuff. Here's another example of the same coin. It's a Roosevelt dime. Roosevelt dimes are notorious for die deterioration, and you can see it. There's a little bit of ejection chatter, what they call it. You know, just it's all messed up and it's flat. Double dies just don't look that busy. Here's another example. I see images like this in the forum and in the Facebook groups, and you know, this is just where the die cavity is starting to erode, and you can see the die deterioration here. And this is what you would call the die deterioration doubling. You know, that's another thing people want to, you know, talk about. It's doubled die, okay? But you have what people call hub doubling and hub doubled, and you know, we say double. Doubled is actually past tense for double. Okay, so it's a double die, it's a double die. You know, it's not doubling. I like to use the word doubled. Sometimes it's interchangeably used. It's not worth getting hung up on words too much, because you need to know what this looks like. It's very important to learn the process. Here's some more die deterioration doubling.
Yeah, people don't seem to get...
You know, it's important just to know what it looks like. And, you know, here's another 2011 nickel. This one has some strike doubled areas, and it's a little bit of die deterioration, it looks like. Usually die striations are involved when you see die deterioration doubled. One of the things about this that's very important to know is that in 2011, they no longer hand punch the mint marks. After 1989, they stopped hand punching mint marks into the dies. So it's a part of the die. So this couldn't be an RPM. So anything after 1989 is not going to have a repunch mint mark. Here's 91, and this is one of them that gets confused a lot. A lot of people see this. It's a little bit of plate doubling, a little plating issue, maybe push plating or plating disturbance of some sort. And this calls from deterioration. People get this confused a lot. You see the 1991s, the 9s and the 1s, you'll see this a lot on. Here's an example, and this is some of the images that you have to decipher here. This is supposed to be a doubled ear. As you can see the inside of the ear here, but here's it's a little die deterioration. Here's an example of strike doubled. You can see the areas on the coin, a little bit of deterioration, a little bit of problems with the metal. As you can see here, cut into it. Here is an actual double die right here. Yeah. The top image is an actual 1969S double die.
That's a big deal.
The bottom image is something someone sent me right there, thinking it was the real double die.
Yeah.
Do you see the differences here in the thickness? Oh, yeah. Like I said, it's going to depend on which class of double die it is, but you can see definite thickness. It's not here. This is actually thinner when you look at it. Here's another example of strike double coin. You can see it. I tried to draw this for you, and you can see that. It's just flatness, flatness, scraped away from the I, scraped away from the L, scraped away from the B. You know, it's a little more confusing inside a curve. The curves do look different, but it's still flat. It's not actually adding to, it's not a doubled feature. Here's another example in a different direction. You can see it's flat where it cut into it. It shoveled away the actual metal from the N and the G and the I.
You can see it, right? It's important.
Here's another example of the date. Here's the mint mark again.
The
mint marks were hand punched in 68. Remember that. It's just cut. That's actually a cut. I mean, you could take an X-Acto knife and almost mimic that. So there's some strike doubled images.
Advice.
Now we'll look at some actual double die images.
Ooh.
And you can see it's extra thickness. This is a little bit blurry, but you can see where it's doubled here to here,
on a nickel.
and it's not flat. Now sometimes the second impression is not as high as the first one, but most of the time it is.
Ooh.
Typically on the smaller coins, it seems like, or coins that have the lower design elements, like on the Monticello, that's a lower design element. Sometimes you'll see a little difference in height. It won't be much, but it's still going to be doubled. Now here is the actual 1955, and these coins are really, I mean, we're talking, they have a separation on them like no other. It's a really nice looking double die, but you can tell. I mean, there's no mistaking a 55 once you see it.
Yeah.
Here is a Kennedy half dollar of the trust. This one here is quadrupled.
What?
Double dies.
What?
This was the impression on this one was several times for whatever reason.
Okay,
We'll get into the details of all of this, but you can tell 1, 2, 3, and it has some die deterioration. And like I've said in previous videos, some of the die deterioration can confuse you, so that you don't see the splits very well, and it looks like kind of a messed up trust.
Hold on.
It just looks kind of messed up, but it's definitely a quadruple.
Hold on. You know what? I have one in a flip in here. I kind of want to... Of course there's a hair on it. A hair. This one's only doubled. Now, I don't know if you're going to see it in the plastic, but it's pretty sweet. You can see the R is the easiest thing to see. Right here. Let's do it like this. Maybe. Hoping to find some more stuff like this. Oh, you bastard. So like he's saying, you can see that the S has extra thickness. My God. My God, man. Hold on. Oh, this is horrible. Like, it needs to be right there, but not in the light. Wow. You know what? For science, taking it out of the flip. Ow. Look at that. That's sweet. It's not like the one in his. His is triple. But mine is definitely double. Look at the S. See the separation on the S. That's a cool coin right there. You know what? I think I'm just going to put that... What do I have this? Hold on. I have another one that says machine doubling question mark. But I don't know where. Double die reverse question mark question mark. but I didn't really say where. Oh, Eric. And then I have a DDO FS 101. Hold on. What are these? I haven't looked at my Kennedy half dollars in a while. Yeah, that one is machine doubling. This one I have written FS 101. Just bear with me, I'm sorry. I don't know. I just don't know. Alright. Well, that was fun. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. And it's a lot of fun. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't found anything great in quite a while, I feel like. Excuse me. Maybe that 99 is actually a double die reverse, and that would be sweet. I don't know if you guys are annoyed or whatever that I'm having a lesson in the background as I do this, but this is basically what I do. I learned about coins while
Triple double die.
Jesus. While coin roll hunting, so I mean nobody else is really watching this, so that's what I say.
Here's another double die on a Kennedy half dollar. As you can see, there's a thickness here. The impression is to the east, but here you can see the split. Here's another one. Here's some toning. Toning can throw people off. You can't hardly see the coin very well. And I put these pictures up here on.
I want to know real quick, what do you think these things sell for, Kennedys? Because Kennedys can be hot. They can be hot and cold. So let's just let's look at what did you? Who did that? That was a 1974 Denver. 1974. Geez, computer, are you listening to me? Well, this makes you feel good. 7 bids. Ends in 20 hours. Let's watch that though, because I want to know what mine's worth. It's always a good idea to do that. There you go. 1999. Huh. I mean, bad pictures, but buy it now for $7, huh? Oh no, that's this one. Buy it now for 34. This is the one I have, but mine's probably not in as good a condition. Let's see what sold, huh? Ooh. Ooh. That's a nice one right there. Okay, so they do sell. Wow. Wow, that one sold for $9. So I guess you can probably get a pretty good deal on these. Look at that stuff. Are you kidding? Huh. Pretty cheap, y'all. Okay, well that's good to know. Huh. I really don't want to bid on anything else today because I just bought a few things, but wow. Let's do, I do a lot of this, ending soonest. Look at that. Huh. This looks like it has some pretty good doubling on it. Oh yeah, this is just like mine basically. Jeez. I watch a lot of stuff on here. This guy only wants $1,200 for his. It's not bad. Think about it. Alright, well, that's cool. Let's go.
Purpose, because I want you to be able to help identify and decipher this stuff when you see it under a microscope or on an image online. You can see the split right here. You can see it at the top of the W. This is very common type of double die for Kennedy half dollars. Look on the ends of the U on the right side.
Yeah.
Also on the W, the tops, and you'll see where the split serifs are.
Serifs.
There's another image of the same coin. Here is a double die reverse.
Wait.
And this image is a little bit blurry as well, but it's very important just to kind of see that how the E's is on this. How the N is, the unum. Here's the 69S double die. We can look at it really close. I'm putting up kind of blurry images because most people that are looking at this stuff they can either have eyesight issues, don't have a good magnification, or whatever it might be. Their cameras aren't that good and they're trying to decipher all this stuff. Even when it's blurry, it's hard to mistake this one. You know, I also want to encourage everyone to go over to our Coin Help community, go to the search feature and type in strike double coins or double die coins, because we've had, since 2009, for 10 years I've had this forum up, and we've had literally hundreds and hundreds of people who have posted strike double coins, double die coins, and we've actually posted guides up here. It's part of our website. And take a look at some of these images and look at what we have explained to people, you know, over and over, trying to teach them about double dies and strike double coins, and then you get an idea of maybe helping you out even more and seeing more images.
Not all heroes wear capes, eh?
Because you can't be too redundant until this sinks in, because sometimes it's very difficult to grasp what it's supposed to look like when you're looking at coins because of all the different anomalies that can happen. Here's another example. One of our admins posted this, and it's very good. I mean, you can see the metal that's been moved, it's fatter. You can see the flatness here and the flatness here where the metal's been actually moved away from it. And here's another example, and it just goes on and on. Here's a real double die. It shows a little bit of the split here. So as you can see, we've got all kinds of examples to show you. Our website is just full of this stuff. I mean, I know people say they look all over the internet and they can't find their double die. They can't find their error. Look, all major errors. Now, they're not saying there's never going to be a new one discovered, but all of them are classified. I mean, we've got them.
You crushed my dream, bro.
Classified, and they're underneath different divisions. And one of the things about that is that when you're looking online, if you're not seeing it, more than likely it's probably not going to be the mint error. It's probably not a mint error. But there's just so many resources. You know, send me a post up here on the community. You know, post your pictures up there. That's probably the best thing to do. Also, Wexler's double dies. I want to explain this here. Wexler's die varieties. And you go to his doubledie.com and you go to his website. He is one of the most knowledgeable men in the world on double dice, and he has all this information. He actually accepts submissions. It's like $4 a coin plus return shipping. And there's a form at the bottom of this page that you can actually send coins to him. I know that he's a very busy man, and I'm not trying to make it worse on him here by recommending him. There's other people through Konica, Konena, Konica,
ECA.
Or this Konica Variety Vista. You can get on there, you can send an email, and they'll direct you to the person to send your coin to. You know, there is a fee for it, and that's understandable because, you know, you get really busy with this stuff trying to help people out. This shows the multiple squeeze hubbing error. It explains the single squeeze error. It shows you images of the dies. It explains all the classifications of the double dies and the single squeeze here. We got an article, like I said. It's very in-depth, more in-depth than I'm going into in these videos because I'm trying to be a little more simple because videos, I mean, I can make a video here, then I can take 2 hours to go through all of this, and that's just too long of a video. When I can simplify it a little bit, break it down, just kind of give you the basics, and then you can move on to wexlersdoubledie.com and read his article, read it over and over until, and try to find some examples yourself until it kind of sinks in. You know, it's not talking down to anybody here. I don't want anybody to think that. I'm not insulting your intelligence or anything. I just encourage you to read this before you ever look for double dies. It's just too important to know about them. You waste a lot of time looking at nothing. Waste a lot of time looking at strike double coins. So I hope this helps you with double dies a little bit better. If this helps you understand what a double die is, then I've done my job. You know, like I said, you know, guys, I appreciate you watching the video. I appreciate the likes and the shares and the comments. I truly do. I love helping people. I only have so much time to help people. So that's why I do encourage everyone to go to these links and go to these websites and do a little bit of research and try to teach yourself, because I can only go so far with this. So anyways, you guys,
I submitted coins to PCGS for grading, and this is what I got back. I'm going to share that with you.
All right.
But there's also a growing issue with TrueView images.
I don't grade
It's very
yet. I do want to grade, but that's a little ways out. Yeah. Boy, I hit mute.
altercations to these images, and it needs to be pointed out, because it makes the coins look different than what they look like in hand. So, first off, though, I want everyone to know that if you go to portsmouthcoinshop.com, we have these coins listed for sale. We have a bunch of coins listed for sale. We have bought some collections, some really nice coins, and I'm talking choice coins. So,
I want to buy collections.
portsmouthcoinshop.com and check that out. So here are the coins in my submission. I sent 2 of them as a variety attribution.
Cool.
And then the rest of them I sent as they were higher value, because you have to have, you know, values under 300 to send a certain tier. These are over 300, so I had to submit them that way. Well, when you send them all in the same box, PCGS sends them back separately. So there's more shipping and stuff, but still, that's how they do it. So this is part of a larger submission. But there's something going on with TrueView images that I want to point out and I want to share with everybody. So first off, we're going to look at this, the copper here. It's an 1803, very good 8, small date, large fraction. And when you talk about large date, small fraction, you're looking at the reverse of the coin here. And down at the bottom, you have the fraction. Okay, of course, the date is on the front. But anyway, that's the fraction that we refer to. And this is a really nice coin. Now, one of the things that I want to point out, and I want to share, is over here on PCGS. It has a list. The population is 20. There's 405 that were graded higher. The price guide value is $215 for this coin. But look at the images, the TrueView image. Do you see how light it is? When you look at this coin real time in real life, this is what it looks like.
Shiny plastic.
It makes it look more chocolate brown when it's not. So what they're doing is, it looks like to me they're brightening the patina of the coin to make it look brighter, more appealing. They're doing this with tone coins, I'm seeing a lot. And so you really have to watch out for that when you're looking at people just using TrueView images in auctions and things.
Okay.
Then I have an 1809, clean, very good details. This is C4, which is the catalog number, Cohen, one that wrote the book on these, mapped out the varieties, basically, catalog them. Circle NO, and when you look at the O, you can see the circle in it. This is a variety, and in this condition, since it is a problem coin, I just wanted in the holder as a net grade, very fine, so I can kind of get a value on it. And to verify the actual variety. There's not really a value on it at PCGS. I mean, it's going to be worth a couple $100 like this. But being that it's a problem coin, PCGS doesn't give it a value or a population or anything like that. It said it was cleaned. Then we have an 18590 PCGS clean, very fine details. Another example of a coin that's going to be worth, you know, around the $400 range or $450 range. It looks like a nice coin. Now, this came out of a typeset. I sent it off to get the net grade and to make sure that it was cleaned, because there's always going to be that question. I think coins like this should be preserved in a holder just in case. That's just how I am about it. I'm kind of picky about these seeded dollars. I really like the seeded dollars. Unfortunately, there's so many problem coins out there. It's just the way the hobby is. This is how it happens. Coins get cleaned, and unfortunately, they're not too obvious, but unfortunately, it is the reality. This is an 1871. Very fine details. They're just nice looking coins regardless.
Pretty weak clash. So.
And they make nice typeset coins. Nothing harsh was done to these coins. There's no clean lines or anything like that, unless maybe under the patinas you might get really close and see them. Then we have the 1872. Very fine 35. And it's a nice coin. Has some marks on it, but nice. You know, it came back problem free.
And that's Liberty,
we're going to look at the true view image of this one. And as you can see, the coin is a population of 140, 1,074 higher, but it's still worth $445. It's a better date in this condition, very fine, 35 brown. But look at the images on the true view here. It makes the coin look better than what it does in hand. So yeah, the images is a lot brighter than the coin itself. Take a look again and see what I'm talking about. This is what the coin actually looks like. And it's hard to image these coins. And I'm not against giving me a little bit of light on it, but this is full on light. And it just doesn't look the same patina. And I will do another comparison. You know, pay close attention to this in full light. I've got light over top of it. See how brown it looks? This is kind of concerning because look how it looks. It looks more red. You know, you don't want to do that to an image. That's not a good thing to do because you get the coin and it doesn't even look like that image. One of the things that we need to stop doing, this is a professional company here. This can't happen. They have to stop this from going on. They really do. You know, I have nothing against a silver coin. You give it a little more light to it because it's kind of dark in your images. It's hard to do images. I get that. I'm not saying they're committing fraud. That's not what I'm saying either. I'm just saying that they're getting real liberal with their renditions, their artist renditions of the coins. Then we have an 1877 CC. Who doesn't like a CC? This one here is very fine, 25.
Already said it.
Really nice coin. Like I said, some of these coins I picked out of a typeset that I purchased. And of course, you know, you get coins that come in the shop all the time. Then I'll have a bunch of low grade common coins, and all of a sudden you turn it over and it's got a CC on it. You know, nice little seated coin. And this coin has a population of 429 higher and a population actually of 32.
I think I'm gonna get some more water.
A value of $325. But still, yeah, look at the true view images.
Let's do a penny roller too. What do you think?
It just doesn't look the same patina, but it's close. I think this makes it look a little worse.
We'll do a cent roller too.
This is look at the coin.
The pits.
It just brightens it up too much and makes it almost look clean in these images. There is a little rim damage you can see on that.
So here's my images of the same coin. And we can click on.
Here we go. Got some pennies up here.
So I'm going to zoom in.
And then I'm going to
So this is what I did. This is my images. I just think they're misrepresenting it that way. I mean, it's not brown like that. This is the actual look of the coin, in my opinion. That's the way it looks. It's one of the better images that I could get. So definitely there's something going on with their images.
Well, that's a nice one to start with, huh?
Then, of course, we have an 1885
I'll be right back.
Liberty V nickel. You always want to make sure these are authentic and not cleaned.
Right back.
They're the key date of the series. And it is a pretty nice coin. Reverse a little worn, has some wear, obviously. There's 217 population in this grade. and 432 above, but $375 is the value for this. And they did a pretty good job. Little, like I said, they did brighten it up a little bit on the TrueView images. But I don't have a problem with this one because the coin pretty much looks like that. That's what it looks like here. It's just makes it look a little more clean, that's all. Then we have a 1921 peace dollar, and this one got AU58, high relief, really nice coin here. It's a natural patina on it from circulation. It's actually well struck too, as well, considering. This one has a population of 2,464 with 16,172 higher, with a price guide value of $525. It's just a really popular coin. The TrueView on this is a little bit lighter, but not too bad. But like I said, it's just a little lighter than I would like, trying to capture that natural beauty. But it's not a bad image. The copper and tone coins, it seem like they're having some issues with on that. And this one here is the 1923 Mid-State 62 Top 50 VAM 1A Whisker Jaw. They call it a whisker jaw because of that little die break there. The thing I tell people, if you have a VAM, all coins are VAMs, or at least all peace dollars and Morgan dollars are VAMs. That means they're just struck with a certain die pair that can be identified. That's all that means. It does make them a variety, but the ones you want have a nickname. Okay. The nickname varieties is what you want. And that's the ones that have the value. And a whisker jaw is like I said, it's a nickname. So I don't have a true view of this one, but I do have a value of $85. Typically, it wouldn't be worth sending off. I was hoping for a 63. There's 46 of them total population. Then there's a question mark because there's 15,277. The total population, including all varieties graded. Okay. That's for the coin itself, the total grade varieties and all. But it's not that expensive a coin, but someone would like to have this. A 62 peace dollar wouldn't typically sell for $85 without the whisker jaw designation. So there you have it. There's my submission, part of my submission I wanted to share with you. Tell me what you think in the comments about the TrueView images. Am I off on that? Do you feel the same way? Because I think some of these are kind of making coins look a little brighter. There was a discussion over on our help community. Let's talk about that. I want to show you that for a minute here. So over here on our help community, if you've got a question or you want me to look at a coin for you, you come over here to help community and post it. We have the rules right here on how to post and a video. But anyway, a person was asking about using TrueView images in auctions, and one of the guys come along here, one of the members, and he posted this coin. And this is his coin, the TrueView image of it. Look at that. I mean, they've got that thing looking like it's a monster toner. And he said, look, this is the issue he sees. This is the actual look of the coin. I mean, it's got the patina, but the rainbow, but it's got to be under a bright white light or under, it has to be at certain angles, straight on. I mean, you get this coin, you're going to see this. So, there's a little misleading, and I can kind of get that. And I put my coin here talking about mine. I thought it made it look a little more clean because it looks a little lighter. So, it is an issue. I think it's a growing issue here if you really think about it. So like I said, I'm not accusing, anything wrongdoing here. I'm just saying that maybe it's getting a little too liberal with the lighting and stuff with their images. But thanks for watching my latest video. Please like, share, and comment, and have a great day.
You have a great day, pal. All right.
My name is Daniel, and
we're going to go full scope here for a bit and just go for it. Pennies, looking at them. Let's go. All right. Obviously, I save every bronze, aka copper, coin. Okay. Oh boy. I should have maybe got myself set up a little bit. That's okay. Gotta open my bins. I got my other bin. And here we go. I keep 12s. Okay. If they're in good shape like that. Why wouldn't you? Did anybody learn anything from any of those videos? I enjoy them. I like to learn. Kind of why I fell in love with this whole hobby. It's a lot of fun. So much to learn. And you know, you're putting money away. You're saving coins. I have a lot of coins in this house. Like, so some days when I think, oh, I don't have much money, and I don't. But at least there's that. Still sitting there. You know, like these two ginormous bags of pennies I have. It's a couple $100. You know? It's better than a kick in the teeth, they say. I think I'm getting most of these crappy ones out of the way. And the ones in my hand are the nice coins. Yeah, we're just gonna believe that. Look at the black crap sticking to the scope plate here. Starts getting gross pretty quick. Alright, there's the bad ones out of the way. Eh. I don't know what's going on. And it's a keeper, obviously, because it's made of mostly bronze. Or bronze, all bronze. Oh, we got a 23. Looking for that extra V, folks. No extra V. It would be down here by VDB. Maybe we should have a better... What do you think? At least this way you can see a little more of the detail. There's not a V on there, right? Am I crazy? Things are driving me nuts. Number one, that you go that far between coins, you know, between getting 23s. Well, I was going to say that's probably going to be a 23. And I'm eating my words. I gotta tell you, I really like looking through cents. Really, really like it. Man, I'm getting tired though. I gotta tell you. It is 10:09. And I have been streaming now. Oh my gosh, we are at 2 hours. Look at that. We did it. This is going to be a 1983 penny. Or something like it. Just going to take a look at that. Alright. Boop boop boo boo boop boop boo doo. Boo doo 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 doo. That's a small date. Again, I save all 1982s for some dumb reason. It is a transition kind of year. Half year. So it's not a bad idea. Man, I'm getting tired. Another 23. So we are at least getting some popping up. Hey, it's better than nothing. There are boxes where there are just no 2023s at all. Saving that one for the copper. Holy shit. There's a big bag of quarters. I think there's some dimes and nickels in there too. I'm gonna have to make several small coin dumps at the bank over the week. I think their bags of quarters hold $500. Ooh, look at that guy. That's a pretty coin. I mean, you know, for a coin roll. That goes into my... I have a few different tiers. I have the high grades. I have the and I guess that's it. And that's for pennies. I have less tiers for quarters, or for dimes, or for nickels. Basically, keeper nickels go with just all together. Keeper dimes the same. There we go. There's a 23. Let's go. There's no V unless it's further away. This is not a V, right? Like, here. I don't think it's a V. See how far away it is? Right there, that's not a V. The 2023 V is right. I'm gonna hang on to it just because it's a maybe, but I'm pretty sure they're... Ooh. Ooh. But I'm gonna finish off this roll with a really nice penny. So let's get these shitty ones out of the way. Looking for the wide AM. Looking to get that one off my scope because it's ugly. But I see a few really nice coins in this roll. Like really nice. Like, I'm impressed and nice. It takes a lot to impress me, I guess. But surprisingly, it takes very little to amuse me. See how that works? Alright. What do you got? 2012. The year the world ended. December 21st, man. Where were you? I was in, I guess it would be Kerhonks in New York. With my kids. With me. That was a good year. That was a fun visit with them. That's when they were in they were in Florida. I was in New York. I figured just in case the world actually ends, let's get those kids up here with me. So either we all go out together or we all make it through together. That's a 45. That's a very common date Wheatie. It goes in the Wheatie box, folks. Alright, we're getting rid of some more crappy coins out of this roll. More crappy coins. We got crap in the bed. Pretty excited for this. It's going to be banger after banger. Sorry, I had to look at that 83 reverse again. I am so tired. I don't know why I keep getting so tired. Oh, you know what? I had popcorn. It was sweet popcorn. And the sweet popcorn seems to do me in. It makes me tired. There's a 23. Gonna check it. I see VDB. I don't see an extra V. Freaking stupid fat thumb is in the way. I don't see a VDB on that one. Or a V, an extra V. Alright. Whoa. My 22s are flowing over now, so it's just kind of a thing. Do 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 do. I'm tired. Going to bed shortly. I did say I had 2 really nice coins. It might be 3 really nice coins to end this roll. Stay tuned. Be nice to find something really, really cool. I believe I have a 15 or 2 double die obverse. Boy, any extra thickness on that bad boy? On that bad boy. Alright. That leaves us 3 really nice pennies at the end of this roll. Let's just do them in no particular order. Looks like a 2021. This is, I think, is a 23. Alright. Any V's? Any? It's a superfluous D or V. Nope. Still saving it. And then this is the last one. Look at that bad lad. I mean, it's nice. Gonna save it, obviously. And because that roll had a few really, really beautiful coins, I'm gonna open another one. This one looks like it has a few decent. Let's start with a banger, potential banger. It's alright. Let's just go, huh? Always looking for errors. Wait a minute. Okay. really like to find some 23s. I feel like I dug down kind of deep and was getting to the 23s there. I'm going to dig a little deeper into this box. And I'm going to find another really badass ender. And then I'm going to open it. Oh boy. Okay, so here's the ender. Of course it's a 2022. Why wouldn't it be a 20, you know, why would it be, I mean, anything else? Ever. There's some alright looking quarters, pennies in here. Including some 23s. Alright guys, I gotta go to bed. I'm really tired. What a day it was. You know? The hell? Oh, that's an old shield scent. I feel like saying shield scent means it implies it's like an older type. Like a V-nickel. Liberty V-nickel. I gotta tell you, I'm not really saving a lot of the floating roof. No FG boys. I just, you know. I guess there's a lot of them out there. Man, I have to reset all my entire boxes or start a new box. As soon as I find a 2024, my system is broken. I wouldn't mind maybe. I'm going to open a few more rolls. I'm going to look through them and see if I can find any 2023s. And then I'm going to probably stop. It's like, I think I'm falling asleep here and there. And I kind of just space out for a second and then catch myself like staring at something. I don't think that's good for the stream. Thought that said 09. Wow, there's a 23. Good job, Eric's eyes. This looked nice for a 2000. Really hoping that was going to be a wide AM. Yeah, it'd be worth a few bucks. I think tomorrow I need to focus on putting some stuff on eBay. I have a lot of stuff to sell. this weekend was kind of a lot about getting through these quarters, which I still have to do this week. I may shift my focus over there for the rest of the weekend. I'm just looking through these really shiny ones. There are some nice ones. Huh. Some nice 2019s. General nice coins in here. There's a 1980. A 95. Huh. I do need to get to the bank, get some of this money back in there. Not a extra V. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. I'm so sorry this is so boring. Like, I'm not showing anything on my screen, I get it. But I am looking for specific rolls, or specific coins in these rolls. I'm going to have to go through all of these tomorrow. So someday go through them all, which is less exciting the second time around. Generally. Yeah, some nice looking coins in some of these. Obviously I don't know how it's going to look until I get it under a scope, like details wise. Who's this? Yeah. Oh shoot. I just realized I also have to put the sheets on the bed. That's okay. Quite a few Wheaties in here for what it is. Can never be disappointed by that. I do love me some Shield scents though. I'm just looking for any 2023 coin. I mean, I'm just going through them, man, and they're not here. Maybe my bank hates me and they're giving all the 2023s to other people. Who are their boys. Sure do have a nice smile, though. It's a 13. This is 23. Dude, if there's a V on that, I'm gonna shit. I don't think that's an extra V. I'm going to put it back in the pile, the draw pile, we'll call it. And I'll look at it again tomorrow when I'm less tired. I am, guess what I am? Never guess. Alright, a couple more rolls just to empty out and kind of cherry pick. They're nice looking, there's some really nice looking scents in here, which is cool. So tomorrow when I go through these, not on stream, at least it'll give me something to look forward to looking through. I don't think that was an extra V either. Man, these are actually looking pretty nice. Huh. $20.22. Huh. See how few 2023s? And it's already 2024. I think this stuff's made up. But like, we just used a couple things and put an extra V in the damn thing, and people are going gaga, and it's nothing. People are probably just faking it. I'm making that call now. Of course you were 22, you bastard. I say that appears to be a really nice coin. And it's okay. You don't get as many 18s. What's this guy? Carbon. Carbon spots. What is that? Where'd it go? That's pretty nice. Yeah, there are some nice coins in here. Very happy. Like I said, it won't be so bad going through them tomorrow. Knowing that there's decent coins. Almost went through this entire box of pennies today. Between this morning and well, I mean, I have a whole bunch of... I do have a whole bunch of them on my desk right here. Just laying there. It's not ideal. But I know what to do. And I'm gonna get through it. Alright, last roll that I'm going to empty on my desktop, my literal actual desktop. It's going to take a while to go through now. Nothing can be done about that. there's like no 2023s in this one. No. Nary a... Okay. I'm ending this stream. I mean, there are some nice coins in here. I mean, they look nice until you get them under a scope. They're still pretty nice, considering. You know what I mean? Okay, guys. I'm really ready to go to bed. So, appreciate you. And have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your night.